Hello, dear friends. This is 40 Nights with the Promised Consoler. And here we are, with the message that is unsurpassing and a message that is most needed in the very time we're living in. And today is day 4, and we'll be studying chapter 1 of the book titled in the Portuguese language, Pontos e Contos. It's chapter 1 of the book Pontos e Contos by Brother X or Humberto de Campos through Chico Xavier. And here we have it. This chapter is titled The Program of the Lord, but it's about the spirit of renunciation. It's everything to do with what we're looking for ourselves as well. During these days that are very critical on the earth, we observe our need of consolation, of hope, of renewal, balance. In times of challenge, we cannot indulge. We actually need to be watchful and also to serve more. But raising our thoughts to Jesus, knowing that the higher spirits are taking care of each one of us. Before we read this beautiful chapter and rejoice in the remedies that it's going to shower upon us, let us say hi to our beautiful community here, right? And visualize ourselves connected from state to state, city to city, state to state, country to country, continent to continent. Feeling ourselves together, and together for the purpose of not only instructing ourselves, but sending good thoughts. Hello, Lea Severo. How are you? Rihanna, she's here too. McCarthy Claire, you are here. Welcome, welcome. Danny and Erica, power couple. Andrea, how are you? And Katia, Adilson. Hello, friend. Thank you, Rihanna. Thank you. And Angelita, Rudy, you're here, and you're happy to be here. And who is here today? Our dear Carol.
Hello, friends. I'm so joyful to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol, for being with us. Yes, we need one another to be stronger together. And this is not a political statement. It's a true statement. Yeah. Whomever used it, very wise, by the way. So, ready, set, and go. Here we are, friends. Friends. We're discovering this master of ours so we can learn more with him. The program of the Lord. Before the hungry crowd, Jesus multiplied the loaves and the fish, attending to the need of the bystanders. The phenomenon wondered everyone. The people laid between ecstatic and in untranslatable jubilation. They have been granted a sign from heaven greater than those of Moses and Joshua. The compact mass was in a thrill of admiration and awe. There were people from the most diverse regions, in addition to the pilgrims in large numbers, who were constantly crowding around the Lord, seeking consolation and healing. Merchants from Idumea, merchants from Syria, Roman soldiers, and camel drivers from the desert gathered there in multitude, in which the exclamations of women and the crying, people heard the women and the children crying. People were conveniently seated on the grass. Gracious interjections, the tasty bread that resulted from the sublime miracle. Pure water in large vessels were served. After the substantial repast, by the robust and happy hands of the apostles. And Jesus, after renewing the promises of the kingdom of God, with a melancholic and serene countenance, contemplated the followers of the eminence from the top of the mountain. He was like a prince suddenly materialized on the earth by the softness of his subtle forehead, touched by the wind that was blowing lightly. Expressions of joy were heard here and there. Hadn't he provided proofs of sovereign power? Wasn't he the greatest of all the prophets? Wouldn't he be the liberator of the chosen race? The disciples gathered the abundant remnant of the unexpected banquet when Malabel, the strong court advisor to the justice in Jerusalem, approached the master and claimed to the crowd to have found the restorer of Israel. He clarified that it would be wise to receive his instructions from that unforgettable hour. And the hearers rose in haste, thickening rows around the Messiah of Nazareth. Jesus silently waited for someone to address him, and indeed, Malabel did not hesitate. Lord, are you really the herald of the new kingdom? And the Christ replied without hesitation, yes. On what basis will the new order be established? Continued the Sanhedrin officer, dilating the dialogue. In work obligations for all. The interlocutor rubbed his brow with his right hand, evidently uneasy, and continued. But will a hierarchical organization be implemented? And the master said, smiling, why not? What is the function of the best? The best shall improve the worst. What about the occupation of the most intelligent ones? They shall instruct the ignorant. Lord, what about the good ones? What will good men and women do within the new system? They will help the wicked, so they may become just as they are good. And what about the obligation of the rich? The rich shall support the poorest, so that they also enrich themselves with resources and knowledge. Malabel, disappointed, said, Master, who will dictate such standards? Jesus replied, the love of sacrifice, which will flourish in works of peace in the path of all. And who will oversee the functioning of the new regimen? The understanding of responsibility in each one of us. The novice, alarmed, said, Lord, how strange this is. Do you wish to say that the different kingdom will dispense with palaces, armies, prisons, taxes, and punishments? Yes, said Jesus openly. The new kingdom will dispense with all of this, and it will demand the spirit of renunciation, the spirit of service, of humility, of patience, of brotherhood, of sincerity, and above all, of the love of which we are creditors. And our victory will remain much more in the ceaseless action of the good, with the detachment of possession, in the sphere of each one, than in the very foundations of justice as known in the world. At that moment, just as the sick and the crippled, the poor and the afflicted descended from the hill with great joy, Malabel, the distinguished servant of Jerusalem, displaying a terrible mask of sarcasm on his formerly respectful face, he turned his back to the Lord, followed by a few hundreds well socially positioned people who hurried to withdraw, uttering phrases of insult and mockery. The miracle of the loaves had been quickly forgotten, implying that the memory hardly worked on the full stomachs. And if Jesus did not want to lose contact with the crowd, at that celebrated hour, he was obliged to come down as well. Is this true? It is true. And you know, it happened 2,000 years ago, and for sure, it would happen again. It would happen again. Wow. Right, Lea Severo? We need to breathe in and out. Main question for us. How much of us is still like Malabel? We need to identify. Still envisioning the material progress as the main priority. Even in the Spiritist movement, we have created such illusions. How many of us, how much of each one of us, Mentor Joseph is asking us, how much each one of us still has these facets of Malabel. There are people in Spiritism who feel like they need to protect the purity of Spiritism, and they become just like the old Pharisees. Because Spiritism doesn't need protection. A universal message that came to the world and shall remain, because it's the promised consoler. We don't need to be worried about protecting it, but protecting its purity inside of our hearts. Asking ourselves every day, what can I do tomorrow that I haven't done quite properly today? Always aiming higher, inner, not external. Don't be worried about, is this book appropriate? You know, you never go wrong when you go through the readings and the studies by Kardec, Leon Denis, Chico Xavier psychographed books, Divaldo Franco's, Raul Teixeira, and some others as well. We tell you never go wrong. Innovations is not the goal. We need to prepare ourselves not to fall trap into the illusion of Malabel. How much of us is still taken over by the syndrome of Malabel? The syndrome. What is it? Let's go over, shall we? Remember yesterday when we were talking about how much we take for granted the sublime phenomena that happens in our lives because the darkness that is spread out due to our ignorance and wickedness, as he says. So the question for all of us, friends, is to ask this. How much we're taking for granted, like he begins talking about Jesus multiplying the loaves and the fish because people needed it. He didn't do this out of I'm a magician. Whoa. No, Jesus was not a magician. He was not a person who was trying to create illusions for us. On the contrary, he was attending the need of the bystanders. People were ecstatic. And you're like, whoa. And that's what happens. People are amazed. Soon after, when we try to get to know more about the person who is the instrument of those wonders, we're like, card number 1, question, and 2, and 3. And if the person doesn't pass through our material mind test, no matter the good that person has done, doesn't serve a purpose. We're still like this on the earth. Right? Let me say hi to friends who got in later. Patricia and Cesar, Constance and Melissa. It's wonderful to be here, friends. So let us meditate this. Malabel came by. He was amazed. And it's interesting to note that this man, he was somebody who knew a lot about the laws that Jesus was following through. And he claimed to the crowd to have found the restorer. So many people were there and they wanted to listen. And the beautiful dialogue are true lessons for us because Humberto de Campos lays out the program of the Lord. Remember when we learned from the Spirit's book by Allan Kardec? Question 625. What is the most perfect guiding model that existed on the earth? And he said, Jesus. As a guiding model, he has a program. What is this program? This message, chapter 1 from the book Pontos e Contos, in Portuguese, not in English. Now in English, but not the whole book. It's a message that tells us about the program of Jesus, where He wants to guide us to. Where am I going? Read this message. That's the direction. What is the direction again? What do I do? The other day, a woman came to visit us, and she said, but you know, these things are happening in my life, but you know, I don't understand why these mediumistic phenomena are happening through me, because I, myself, am an ordinary person. And Mentor Joseph said, tell her that that doesn't exist in the universe of God. That doesn't exist. Nobody's ordinary. Everybody's unique. So that thing about I'm ordinary, meaning I'm less than, doesn't exist in the universe of our dear God. You are not ordinary. I'm not ordinary. Nobody is. Everybody's unique, though with common abilities, common experiences, but never the same. They may overlap, but they're not the same. So this is the program, friends, that they are revealing to us. Are you ready? Let's go through the program. So we do a checklist. Okay? Let's do checklist. Checklist. Jesus. Oh, the song. Jesus is passing by. Jesus is passing by. And when He comes, everything is fine. Sadness is gone. Happiness arrives. When He comes, everything is fine. Sadness is gone and happiness arrives. So He's passing by and He's saying, come on over, guys. He's saying, come, come, come. Right? Come, Carol. Come, Vanessa. Come, everybody. Come, Leia Severo. Come, Constance. Come, Melissa. Come, everybody. And He's not kidding. He is serious, though He's smiling. He waited. You see, let's learn from the body language. He silently waited for someone to address Him. That's a lesson for us already, the non-verbal lesson. Because, of course, if people, like teachers, right? You have to speak, right, Carol? You're a teacher. You can't be quiet all the time. The students come, you have to address the question, but you wait in silence. We need to practice that. Because sometimes we're too anxious. Like, I better say something, or else, or people are going to think of this, or they're going to say that, or they're going to think I'm stupid. No, it's the reverse. The more we talk, the more likely we're going to incur in some form of stupidity. It's very likely. Right? So, he waited. And Malabel did not hesitate. Have you observed, friends, that in this world, as we learn in the Spirit's book, those who are still playing the games of ignorance, they are very hasty and not combative. They're not hesitant. They're not shy. But those who know the good, they hesitate. They're shy. Should I say it? Should I post it? Should I send this email? Should I send that message? Please do it. But think a million times before you are going to do something that is not too good. But we're still used to that. When it's the ignorant aspect of us, we have no refrain. But when it's the good, we're like, should I do it? I have this great idea, but maybe. Don't be shy. Let it shine. Right? Let it shine. This is the time to let it shine. If you found the good, spread the news. Go on. Move forward. Don't wait. Don't wait for people to agree with you, to be with you. Do what you have to do and people will come. Build it and it will come. Right? Because the good ideas always come from God, says Paul. Paul of Tarsus. Hello, Tia Abby. Yes, Tia Abby. Carlos and Tia. Oi, Tia Abby. All right, so here we are. First question. Jesus, are you really the leader of the new kingdom? He said yes, without hesitation. You see? He's not like, oh, but who am I? No, yes, I am. Period. Yes, without hesitation, says Humberto de Campos. Yes. Oh, really? You have this talent? And you say, yes. Don't say like, yes, but you know, I only use this talent. No, yes, I am. It's God's. You don't need to explain anything. It is what it is. And that's the problem in humanity nowadays. The people who know the good pathway are shy. And it's not shy in regards to creating a war. No, it's shy to do the good. Don't be shy. Do the good that you can. Seek the good. Feel the good. Visualize the good. Mold your life to the good. Hello, Publio Lentos. How are you, beautiful Canada? Now, another question for the program. What basis will the new order be established? Now, this is something we may not like. We were just at the Spirit side of Virginia, and we're talking about this, and here's the confirmation. What basis will the new order be established in this new kingdom? And Jesus says, that's the program. In work obligations for all. Really? That's the kingdom of happiness? Work, work, work? Huh? Yes, work. Because work is what? The law of work in the Spirit's book tells us it's every useful occupation. So he's saying, use your time wisely. Use your time wisely. Use your time wisely for you and for the world. Oh, but I'm tired. And then you throw your body on the couch. Because some people, they don't lay down. They throw themselves. And they stay there like as if they're dead. And some turn on the TV and allow the TV to go on and on for hours. That cannot give us happiness, friends. This is not a judgment. It's just like the therapeutic conversation, right? Work obligations for all. The kingdom of joy, the kingdom of the good news, the kingdom of God inside of our hearts in a peaceful conscience comes with fulfilling the duty. And not that the world sees, but the one that the conscience tells. If it's telling you, don't sit and sleep now, go knock on that person's door and give them bread. I mean, figuratively speaking, because if you know the person's situation, go and do it. But what is the person going to think? It doesn't matter. It matters that you do the good. We can't postpone. Remember when Dr. Bezerra de Menezes, the great doctor of the poor from Brazil, a spiritist and a good politician. And you think the angels are not taking care of the politicians around the world? Oh, yeah, they are. And you know, don't worry, there's a limit to everything people tell that they're going to do. Friends, Dr. Bezerra de Menezes said that one day Two women were going for an opera performance, and they stopped by, and then they were going back home, walking in the streets. They saw this homeless person who needed a coat. It was a cold night. They had their coats on, but they said, you know, tomorrow I'm gonna bring a coat and come here. But when they came back the next day, the person was dead. Ta-da! No time, right? You're welcome, Publio. You're at the right time. Hello, dear Shane. She was just there with us at the SSVA Center. And Luciane Tuani. Hello, hello. The program of the Lord. And then he was like rubbing his brow with his right hand, uneasy. And he said, what about hierarchy? Will there be hierarchy? Are you surprised Jesus said, why not? Now we are surprised. Hierarchy? Hierarchy? What does he mean? Now we go to the book Nosso Lar by André Luiz through Chico Xavier, and we get to know that in the higher colonies there is a beautiful hierarchy, but it's not the one that comes with electoral votes. No. It's not about popular votes versus electoral votes. Because that's fake news, right? What happens there is actually what? Moral authority carries mentioning here. Moral authority. The one who is the governor of the spiritual colony in Nosso Lar has moral authority to be there. And he works hard because he understood that that's the way of doing and being. Right? Good job, André. You're going to give a book to your neighbor. The book Money. No regret. That book is fascinating. Yeah, we shall distribute to everybody. Okay, now, what is the role of the best person in this kingdom? To improve the worst. And remember when yesterday we learned, 2 nights ago, Nicodemus was asking. And Jesus said, what is the use of knowing it all if when you feel the best, you push away the people who need the most? So what is the point? I came for, he told also Peter, right? I came for the sick, those who are not happy. We don't push them away. Remember when Jesus told James, I will be with you. But if you want to come with me, I'll be there where people need the most. And I can't stop until we dry out the last tear. Do you push away people who are imbalanced? Let's ask this question to ourselves, shall we? Am I still doing this? Pushing away people who are not balanced, who are not wealthy, who are sick, who have problems. Are we like this? If we're like this, we're no better than them. Because when we're better, he's saying, we help those who are feeling worse. That's the thermometer. When I'm really at another level, I have compassion and I don't distance myself from the people who are troubled. Because I understand I need to be there for them. As Jesus said a few days ago, to support them with the truth. Remember when Peter was pushing everybody away? And Jesus said, but what are you doing, Peter? I told you to support them with the truth, not annihilate them with the truth. Thank you, McCarthy Claire. You're sharing that you don't know how to help, but it hurts me more. You are so adorable, my friend, because your statement actually brings us all to this beautiful confession. We are like this too. If not all the time, sometimes. It may vary, face to face, day to day. And we need to learn how to help so we can go to the schools in the spiritual realm while the body is sleeping, McCarthy Claire, and enroll in courses on learning, for example, how to help. And you're right. We need to work that ability out. Because helping people, we need to be skillful not to hurt their feelings, which is very hard, especially when you're medium, because you feel threatened and you push away the threat. And sometimes not the person, but you're pushing away the entities that come with the person, not necessarily personal to the person. So what can we do again? When we go to sleep, pray, ask the protecting spirit, the guardian angel, to take us to the spiritual realm. It's what we call intelligent sleep. Kardec talks about it in his dissertation on sleeping dreams in the book, The Spirit's Book. And he says, go and use that time to talk to Spirit Superior to us and receive instructions from them. If you go read the book Missionaries of the Light, several chapters, we were just reading one of them tonight, right, Carol? Chapter 9. 8 and 9. They talk about these schools for incarnates. Courses in the spiritual realm, free, by the way. Talking about money, free. I think that's the best part. If universities are expensive, then you got a free course. But we need to make an effort. What does it take? Sublimate our lower impulses. Make sense? Yippee! Yay! Now we have school friendship, maybe. Huh? Hello, Rita Di Cassia. Yes, we need some miracles here. Yes, we do. Let's not forget, we still, yes, we can, right? We can't forget that. Yes, we can. We can be a good people, good nation, good world, peaceful and kind and loving and caring and compassionate, right? We cannot stop believing, right? Let's not stop believing. And what course are you going to enroll? Yeah, you can choose. And you can ask the guardian angel. I'm not joking. You can choose. Free will exists. You can choose. There was a time that I did a course on a specific language that I needed to polish because I was having no time in my daily life to accommodate a course. And I said, the good spirits, can you help me out? I need to do that course. And they said, sure. And I improved. And people are like, how? What did you do? It's a story for another day. But now we know. Taking a course in the spiritual realm. It can be a course on patience. It can be a course on motherhood, fatherhood, marriage, relationships. It can be a course on sexuality. It can be a course in so many things that I think tonight you're going to dream on the list. Like a good student, like going through, oh my gosh, I can study forever and pay nothing. Right, Kara?
Right.
That's exciting. But we need to attend the lessons. That's the only thing. You can enroll, but if you read chapter 8 of Missionaries of the Light by Andre Lewis, you'll be surprised. The reasons why people skip lessons. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And one of them is said in this one. There you go. Rita DeCassi is saying she elected Course of Inner Transformation. There you go, Rita. Thank you. Think about this, friends. If you have ideas, share, share, share. We often say don't share, but this is a good. It's a share that will enhance our imagination, the department of imagination in our minds. Go on, friends. If you have ideas about courses, please share. Gotta share, gotta care. That's what you can do. This is the music of the ponies. Yes. Then, let's see. The occupation of the most intelligent. To instruct the ignorant. And what do people think? I'm so smart. I hate ignorance. Oh, really? Because you're so smart. Oh. So how are the people who are ignorant going to be instructed? If those who think they're intelligent, they don't share, bridge, and remember what happens. We think we're so smart and we don't share. We become misers of knowledge. And the price we're going to pay later is heavy. These are the case of many people who in other reincarnations, they want to study, they want to know, etc. They're not allowed. Because when they knew it, when they were allowed to be instructed, they kept it only for themselves. And they pushed away the people who didn't know what they knew. So whatever you know, share. Right? Me too, Rita. I need that course too. We'll see you there one of these nights or every night. Okay? That's a good course. I like it. And Andrea is talking about internships. Like an apprentice. Learning how to serve better. That's beautiful. We take internships too. Hello, Rose. Now, what about the good ones? They should help the wicked in this ideal that we shall achieve in the spiritual, in the material plane. This world that we are creating each and every day, inside of us and out, the ones that achieve higher levels of goodness, they help those who have not. Imagine our society. Today I was watching a cartoon with Virginia, and it was a message that if people paid attention, we would never have serial killers ever in this world. Because there is one of these characters that feels isolated, but she has so much resentment inside of her that one of her former friends take a journey of courage to get her out of that isolation. And by doing so, she gets that friend engaged into a new life. My friends, do you know anybody who is too shy, too isolated? Don't think that by getting closer to them, you are invading their privacy. You are actually saving their world and the world. And instruct your children to be courageous and bridge up with those who are alone and isolated. Please, please, go talk to that person. Maybe they have so much anguish and suffering and trauma inside of them. But if you smile to them, we're not talking about engaging in their daily lives because we don't know the person, but make them feel that they are seen. Because remember, what do you like the most as a human being? To be appreciated. You want to be reassured by people Those are the best days of people's lives. Why do you love Jesus? Because he appreciates you unconditionally? For now, that's the type of love we have for Jesus. We love him because he cares for us. It's like children and their mother. I love you, Mom, because they give us this, da-da-dee, da-da-da, da-da-da. It's like the cat and the owner. Okay? But we're learning how to go above just loving because they feed our necessities. One day we'll learn how to love Christ for what he is and not for what he gives us. What kind of love do you have for Jesus? Because Malabel here, he was expecting specific things from Christ, and when he was not receiving, was not being nourished at that level, he pushed Jesus away. Are we like that? How often are we like that? So, Malabel is still asking, what about the rich? They shall help the poor. But that already happens on the earth, right? It already happens on the earth. Like many of these beautiful rich, and you may be the ones as well, because we think the rich is always the neighbor. But the neighbor thinks we're the rich ones. Right? Yes, that's what happens. So, enriching ourselves with resources and knowledge when we support the poorest. These are Jesus' words. He's saying, you have something, support the ones who don't have that something. That's it. Support. Support means be the foundation. Right? Hello, Tanya. Beautiful Rose, you're adorable too. Now, Malabel is so disappointed. He's like, but who will dictate such standards? The love of sacrifice. Love of sacrifice. Which will flourish in works of peace in the path of all. Aha! Compared to what he said yesterday to Nicodemus. I want mercy, but not sacrifice. But that sacrifice is different from this one. This one, he's saying sacrifice of the ego. Loving that. Loving it. And in works of peace, in the path of all. You know what it is? It's the day you eat less, so you don't. And I'm saying it because it's the most important thing that we may do for the physical survival. Eat or drink water, of course. You're in New York, Tanya? Sorry, friend. Did you move? Tell me the story later. We need to know where you are. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, just so we feel we are live, community feeling, okay? If you're watching this on demand, forgive us. But Tanya is a good friend for everybody too, so it's good to know where she is. So, friends, let's meditate on this. Where are you regarding the love of sacrifice? Do you love it? Majority of people don't. What? I'm gonna eat less to spend less time eating and doing more works for others? I'm gonna sleep less like Chico Xavier used to do. He would go to sleep past 2 a.m. and would wake up before 6 a.m. What? Yeah, 4 hours a day max. But don't try to do it just for the sake of doing the same, because it's not important the quantity, it's important the quality. The quality. How can I love humanity more? How can I love humanity more? You know how? If you're a spiritist friend, share the news. But most of all, instrument yourself to help people who are in this spiritual crisis nowadays. Okay? Please, the work that Tanya and Greg are doing, it's to that direction of the spiritual healing that promotes help to those who are in spiritual crisis. We can't receive a phone call from a person who says, I need spiritual treatment, I need spiritual help, and say, I'm so sorry, my center doesn't offer it. That's criminal. If I knew this much, if I know, I need to customize the team to help you. Oh, but we don't have this meeting. Then think of Jesus. Do you think Jesus gave courses so people would do these things? No. He would teach as they perform the help. And say, come, let's do it. Oh, come, let's do it. And that's how we need to go by. We need to commit to helping people. It's time to stop judging. It's time to act. And that's why the world is suffering. Because we know too much, we're doing too little. We know too much, friends. Not as much as we need to know, but we know more than enough to do much more. We need to have the courage to be disciplining ourselves. Like Rita Di Cassia was saying, these schools of inner transformation, be disciplined and humble enough to be in a teamwork effort, in a mediumistic meeting, in a spiritist center, as past givers, as coordinators of studies, fraternal counselors, helping people who come and they need more than ever. As Melissa is saying, time to act in the good. Thank you, Melissa. And you know, Jesus is so humble that when he was asked, who is going to supervise it all? And people were going to say, me. No. The understanding of responsibility in each of us. In each of us. It's unbelievable. In each of us. Of course, he's talking about the kingdom of God. He's not talking about the now, because now we need order. But knowing that the conscience is the ultimate supervisor, right? Yes, my friend, I will, Rudy, I will make sure that I got the chapter for you, okay? The chapter for tomorrow, okay? Give me a minute, please. Thank you for asking. Is this strange to you, friend? Is it strange? So we're not going to need palaces and prisons and armies and taxes. Oh, that's a good idea, huh? No taxes. Huh? And punishments? And Jesus said yes. Because people will be working with the spirit of renunciation, service, humility, patience, brotherhood, sincerity, love. Okay? Tonight, Mentor Joseph was telling us something quite curious, because Jesus is talking about we're creditors of all of it. And interesting enough, Mentor Joseph said, the more we learn, like each talk we listen to, each book we read and study, it's like we're receiving a credit in a credit line. Imagine what we're doing with it. Nothing. Nothing. We better do something. We better do something to achieve this kingdom of God. And our victory remains in the ceaseless action of the good. with the detachment of possession. Point. Breathe in and out. Ultimate question. Do you put limit to the much work of the good that you do? Do you say, I already worked this much today to helping people. Now I'm going to go to the movie theater, enjoy myself, get an ice cream, go to Hawaii a little bit, because I'm working too much helping people out. According to Jesus, we will only achieve the victory of the kingdom of God when we don't stop doing the good, and when we detach ourselves of our possessions. Speechless, huh? That's it, friends. For tomorrow, chapter 5 of the book, Pontos e Contos in Portuguese, okay? Let us meditate on this and ask ourselves where we are regarding our spirit of renunciation and our pathway of this action to the good.